Today, we look at the moment when the machine met the eye. Before high-definition cab views and ASMR, there was only flickering celluloid and the raw power of steam. Welcome to Steel Meets Steel. Today, we embark on the ultimate journey. We count down the top oldest and most influential railway films in history, tracing the tracks back to the very dawn of the moving image. We begin our countdown in 1911 with D.W. Griffith's technical masterpiece, The Lonedale Operator. This film represents a landmark in the development of parallel editing, creating unprecedented tension during its climactic chase scene. Griffith utilized dynamic cuts between a desperate telegraph operator and the approaching relief train. For the technical historian, the film is a vital record of the Santa Fe Railway's operations in California. It proves that by 1911, the train was no longer just a subject for the camera, but a primary actor driving the pace of modern cinematic storytelling. Number 16. A breathtaking view of Colorado's engineering marvel. This Edison film captures the high bridge and the sheer vertigo of mountain railroading at the turn of the century. The Georgetown Loop was a technical solution to a massive problem, gaining 600 feet of elevation in a narrow canyon. By using a series of curves and the famous Devil's Gate High Bridge, the Colorado Central Railroad turned a steep climb into a masterpiece of narrow-gauge logistics. This footage serves as a primary record of the silver mining era's industrial peak, showcasing the Iron Horse, conquering the impossible grades of the Rocky Mountains. In 1903, Edwin S. Porter redefined the use of the railway in cinema with The Great Train Robbery. Produced for the Edison Manufacturing Company, this film is among the first to place a locomotive at the center of a complex narrative. Technically, it was revolutionary for its use of a camera mounted on top of a moving train belonging to the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad. Porter also employed early hand-coloring techniques to emphasize explosions and gunfire. This work set the standard for the Western genre, portraying the railroad as a symbol of both danger and untamed progress on the American frontier. We travel to Sydney, Australia, a rare look at the Victorian bustle of the Southern Hemisphere, where the steam engine was the lifeblood of a growing nation. Recorded in October 1899, this footage from the Commonwealth's Trans-Australian Railway collection captures a suburban train entering NEWTOWN station. Notice the passengers in their period attire. It is a candid document of social life at the height of the colonial era. For the technical historian, it provides an invaluable view of the early New South Wales government railways, rolling stock, and the architectural layout of the platforms before the turn of the century. From 1899, George Albert Smith's A Kiss in the Tunnel. This film is a pioneer in editing. It uses a phantom ride into a dark tunnel as a clever transition to a scripted scene inside a carriage. By mounting the camera to the front of a locomotive, Smith created a bridge between the mechanical world of the tracks and the human drama inside the cabin. This three-shot structure was revolutionary, showing the world that a train ride was the perfect place for a secret romance. It remains one of the earliest examples of how film could manipulate time and space to tell a cohesive story. Number 12. A rare phantom ride from the British Mutoscope and Biograph Company. Conway Castle, filmed in 1898. It captures the haunting beauty of a train passing directly beneath massive medieval ruins, the ultimate clash of the old world and the new. With the camera mounted to the front of the locomotive, the viewer is thrust into the landscape. Watch how the heavy iron tracks cut relentlessly through the ancient stone fortress, an architectural giant built by kings, now dwarfed by the speed of steam. It is a powerful, visual metaphor for the unstoppable march of the industrial age, a primary record of history moving forward. We head to the American West. This footage of the Sunset Limited Express, captured by Edison's crew in 1896 and released in 1898, is a priceless archival document. Watch as the massive steam engine hurtles across the California landscape, a pure symbol of the New World, and the relentless conquest of the untamed frontier. This wasn't just a train, it was a rolling palace, carrying the dreams of expansion from New Orleans to San Francisco. Notice the raw power of the black smoke against the desert sky, a mechanical titan, claiming the horizon for the industrial age. We witness the raw reality of Parisian life. This 1897 footage, captured by the Pathé brothers at the AUTEUIL station, proves that early cinema was the ultimate documentary tool. Watch as the steam engine pulls into the platform, a marvel of early urban transit. But look closely at the passengers. This isn't staged. It is a genuine slice of history. You can even see a man accidentally trip and fall on the platform, a perfect, unscripted moment of everyday chaos. It is a beautiful, imperfect snapshot of a world suddenly moving faster than ever before, the true, unfiltered heartbeat of the 19th century. The legendary Phantom Ride. This 1897 masterpiece, filmed on the West Shore Railroad, was the ultimate thrill for early cinema audiences. By mounting the camera directly onto the front bumper, filmmakers allowed viewers to literally become the locomotive. As we plunge into the darkness of the Haverstraw tunnel, notice the claustrophobic tension, followed by the blinding light of the exit. This is the great-grandfather of every modern cab view video, a sensory experience that made the audience feel the speed and the danger of the iron tracks. Pure, cinematic adrenaline, forged in iron. Number 8. A masterpiece of composition. This reverse Phantom Ride, filmed in 1896, is one of the most poetic films in the entire Lumiere catalog. We watch the holy city slowly recede as the iron horse carries us away into an unknown future. The contrast is stark. Ancient walls and thousands of years of history, fading behind the modern marvel of a moving train. It is a visual metaphor for a world that could no longer stand still. The camera placement, the steady motion. This was the moment cinema became art, and the railway, its greatest subject, departing into the unknown. The Panorama of Progress, captured in 1896, this is one of the earliest examples of a camera in motion. Watch as we glide across the steel structures of a world being rebuilt by steam. Notice the rhythm of the tracks and the way the landscape unfolds, seen only by those on board the great iron horse. This is the cinematic journey that turned passengers into voyagers and a simple train ride into a window to the world. A revolution in full view. Number 6. The Speed Demon of the 19th Century, filmed in September 1896. This is the legendary Empire State Express. Known as the fastest machine on wheels, it was captured here by the Biograph Company using cutting-edge wide-gauge film. Feel the vibration as this iron giant thunders past the lens. It wasn't just a train, it was a symbol of American ambition, shrinking distances and defying time itself. Power, speed, and the future, all in one frame. At number 5, The Pulse of the Nation. In 1896, Thomas Edison's crew captured the legendary fast mail as it thundered through the American landscape. Unlike the steady arrivals at the station, this was about sheer, unbridled velocity. Watch the plume of smoke and the way the massive engine looms over the lens. It was a reminder that in the age of steam, information moved as fast as iron could carry it. A high-speed spectacle from the dawn of the tracks. Number 4. Thomas Edison's Black Diamond Express. This 1896 masterpiece was America's direct answer to the French pioneers. Filmed at a sharp curve on the Lehigh Valley Railroad, it perfectly captures the reciprocating motion of the pistons. It is a pure, mechanical celebration of speed and steel. Notice the dust kicked up by the wheels, the roar you can almost hear through the silence of the film, and the sheer weight of the iron. It is the ultimate expression of the locomotive as a work of art, a masterpiece of the early industrial cinema, a diamond in the crown of industry. We are finally entering the top 3. To kick things off, we stay in Lyon at the Perrache station. While the Lumiere name is already legendary, this specific recording captures the daily hustle of 19th century travel with incredible depth. Notice the natural movement and the thick clouds of steam. It was a technical miracle that laid the groundwork for the documentary genre. A perfect setup for the final two icons of film history. Number 2. Before the world saw the definitive version, the Lumiere brothers experimented with different angles at the La Ciotat station. In this rarer take, we see the locomotive approaching from the left, capturing the scale of the platform and the anticipation of the crowd. It was here, on this very platform, that the brothers began to weave the soul of the machine into the fabric of cinema, a first attempt at capturing the raw power of the industrial age. The Big Bang. Number 1. This is the shot that changed everything. By moving the camera closer and letting the engine charge from the right, the Lumiere created an eternal romance between the iron track and the silver screen. Although legendary accounts say the first audiences tried to flee the theater in terror, overwhelmed by such a realistic vision, they soon returned, captivated by the machine. This masterpiece turned a simple arrival into an immortal legend, where history and industry truly collide. That concludes our journey back to the very first flicker of a locomotive on screen. From the silent era to the power of modern industry, this is where history meets the machine. Thank you for watching Steel Meets Steel. If you enjoyed this deep dive into our industrial past, don't forget to subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next chapter, where history and industry collide once again.